What's going on, y'all? So listen.
What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of How to Get Away with Murder, Season 6, Episode 7. I'm the murderer. Girl, you the murderer? No, but you the murderer, because I'm the murderer. But anyway, listen. So we start this episode off, and Annalise is cupcaking on the phone with Robert. And I feel some type of way, because if y'all already know, I'm pulling through for Tingalise, okay? And I just really want them to get together, like at least one good time. Like I really, it's not the gay in me. It's just that they got the chemistry, okay? And that's what they keep on trying to like push on us. They playing around with it, okay? I just want them to just link up somehow, some way, one good time, knock it out, give me what I want, and then go back to playing games, okay? That's all y'all need to do. You know what I'm saying? I will be really disappointed if this show ends and that never happens and something happens to Tegan, okay? Even if she deserves it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel some type of way. But she up here playing phone call and crushing and cupcaking on the phone with Robert. Okay? And remember on the Cosby show when it was like, Robert. Vanessa and Robert. Girl, listen. That was my show back in the day. Anyway. Before all this shit. Bitch, I still watch the Cosby show. I don't give a shit. Okay? Anyway, we'll get on to that in another thing. But no. So he like, girl, when you gonna let me take you out for a 6th date? And I said, 6? What did I miss? Did the timeline jump? What happened? Girl, yes, the timeline jumped. So apparently the one day that they went on was a month ago, because now all of this is a month, in the future, okay? Month from the last time we saw him from last week, okay? And they went out on that little ice cream date or whatever, and then they've been talking on the phone like 4, 5, 6 times, for date 2, 3, 4, 5. They've been talking on the phone or whatever. And then so at this point, he like, listen, I'm just trying to get your ass out of all this stuff. And she like, damn, dating is so hard or whatever, trying to get to know people and all this stuff. Don't you get tired of that? You've been married twice, you've been divorced twice, you've been this. I said, you know all about him and all this stuff, and I'm pretty sure he probably don't know shit about Annalise. All them times they've been talking on the phone, she ain't give off nothing, okay? And at this time, somebody banging on her door or whatever, trying to get in. She was like, oh my God, Robert, hold on. Stay on the door with me. Stay on the phone with me. Stay on the phone. And he was like, babe, you okay? I said, hold up. He all concerned this shit. He was like, hold on, what's going on? You okay? You need me to come over? He was ready to pull up. Okay, that was the vibe I was getting from Robert. I was like, all right, Rob, okay, dance on the stress a little bit. You ready to ride. All right. But Annalise was prepared. Annalise goes to her safe. Do, 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 do. Bitch, I said a gun, a wad of money, and some other stuff up in there. I said, okay, you ready too. All right, she go to the door. She looking at some chick talking about she looking for her Airbnb. And she was like, girl, you want penthouse 1. It's more multiple penthouses up here. I said, damn, Annalise, you up in the penthouse? Let me tell you something. So where I be working at now, it's a lot of people that come in. I seen this. I never saw it in my other location, but I see it so much often now at the location that I am at work at the library, because I'm in the area where all them rich white folks be at, okay? The celebrities stay down there too, and people be coming in, getting their little library cards or whatever, and I be seeing that PH, and I was like, oh shit, penthouse, your husband making bank, because it be the wives coming in with the kids all the time. Girl, okay. But yeah, she wanted the penthouse across the street, okay, across the hall. So she talking about that. Then it goes over there to Frank. He up and he doing better. He doing his workout and all this stuff. Bonnie said, you lifting weights and all that stuff, you doing all this, and you gonna get yourself a little hernia. You trying to put yourself back up in the hospital so we have to look after you again. He was like, no, baby, I'm just trying to get good and strong and fit for you when we ready to go. I said, stop it, Frank. Stop it, Frank, because I don't believe this. Y'all told me in the comments they broke up like earlier this year. What? Anyway, I'm just sitting here like, no, Frank. And Bonnie looking at him like, in her mind, she's saying, baby, you are already good. I said, no. And he just glistening and everything. I said, stop that shit. Meanwhile, over there at the kids' house, they putting cameras all up because of this whole thing that's going on with the Castillos. Okay. God damn it, Rocks. You got me saying it just like Tegan was saying it. If y'all seen Rock's video for last week, and she was talking about the way that Tegan says Castillo. The Castillos. Okay, but anyway, they got the cameras up. Asher being an asshole in the cameras or whatever, because of Gabriel, I'll fight you to the death and all this stuff. And it's just like, whatever, Asher. Stop it. It's over. It's tired. You got a kiss out of Michaela. It is what it is. You better be glad about that, okay? Michaela comes down there and was like, she ain't fucking with Gabriel. She ain't fucking with Asher. She's abstinence until these exams. They like, we heard this shit before. Meanwhile, back at the classroom, they got just like Michaela was teacher for the day, Maddox, Professor Maddox, aka Gabriel. He's the professor for the day. Okay, he's gonna be doing what he got to do, for this trial, for this trying to convince his client to go to trial. Okay. And he's using this new technique, or this technique called restorative justice, basically trying to change the world. And of course, Asher gets up in his feelings because he's up there teaching, Annalise had to tell him to shut the hell up, okay? And he's asking for volunteers. No, Michaela doesn't raise her hand, so he picks her. And of course, she don't want to go up there. And, Annalise said, get your ass up there, okay? And so he says, I picked this bitch because she wronged me. I said, girl, what happened? Y'all bring y'all personal shit to the classroom? What wind up happening is they flash back a month later, earlier, and Michaela broke up with him, okay? Not just break up with him, trying to use this lame excuse of, I'm about to graduate, you still in school or whatever, you only a second year law student, and it's not gonna work, and I don't even know if I'm gonna stay here, and woo woo woo, blah blah blah. Okay, moving on. She only broke up with him because she still got feelings for Asher, okay? Because that shit just reignited, I should say. And so at this point, he's up there talking about the case that they had, and it's this guy who who was a teacher, and he left a gun in his classroom, and I guess he used it to kill one of the students or whatever that he thought was a school shooter, and he was just doing it because he was afraid because of all the school shootings that was happening. And so his thing is, he feels as though he deserved more time in jail. Gabriel is thinking, you don't need that much because you didn't really try to kill this boy just because you wanted to kill this boy. You killed him out of fear. It was an accident. It was this. It was that. It's understandable because, we had these school shootings. We had Parkland. We had Sandy Hook. We had this. We had that. Okay, fine. But you can just see in his face that the man really feels bad about what he did, and he's willing to take whatever punishment, no matter how long it is, he's willing to take that because he feels so guilty that, he took an innocent life. And then he went through three things because they're talking about restorative justice. Okay, this is how they're going to win the case and how they're going to, get him on trial to just get the 25 years in prison instead of the life and death penalty or whatever. So basically, restorative justice, they're going to get him to acknowledge that he was wrong. And that is all that he was saying. He knew what happened. He assumed that he was going to do something and he shouldn't have. And he know that he was fucked up. He know he did wrong. And then the negative effects that it's going to have on people. What it's having on his family, his grandparents and all this stuff and the students. Okay, he get that. And then Annalise put the third one out there, which is reparations. All right. And so I said reparations. But at the end of the day, Gabriel had to convince him to say, yeah, we're going to take this to trial to see if we can get this 25 years. They're going to go over there to the house to talk to the grandparents. Gabriel thought he was going. But, of course, Annalise said, no, you're not. And she was coming up with different angles to fight this. How do we convince the grandparents to go along with this? And then, Gabriel suggested that they do a faith-based thing because they're Catholics. And then the other girl in the class, suggested that they do saying that this will be something for your community or whatever. Asher said, you just tell him from the heart. I could tell him about my father and his suicide attempt. Well, him committing suicide and all that. And so at this point, Annalise was taken by that. Okay, so Asher, you meet me at the office at 2:00. We're going to go down there and do this, whatever. Meanwhile, back at the office, Annalise come up in there and realize that she got a new client that they got to take on. It's Nate, okay? She like, what the fuck? Girl, she found out that he's suing and pulling this civil lawsuit and added the governor up in it and was like, you know what? Y'all playing with fire right about now. I ain't got time for it. She go down there talking to Franklin was like, listen, we can't let them file this goddamn lawsuit. What I need you to do is I need you to scare the fuck out of Tegan. I said, wait a minute. Because, Annalise was telling Nate, you really want to do this with the governor? Because we all got secrets, baby. Okay? And they go flashback to the fact that, Nate was the one that killed Rod. Okay? So, yeah, we all got secrets. We don't want them to unearth stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, Nate, Frank, if you feeling up to it, I need bad Frank, and I need you to scare this bitch bad. I said, oh no, don't do your girl like that. Damn. Back at the law office, you got Tegan and Nate sitting down there. She was like, so Nate, tell me your secrets. I ain't got no secrets. She was like, those words that a lawyer likes to hear, bitch. Anyway, you got some secrets. What is, if you gonna take a shot at the governor, I need to know everything. And right before she can say all of that, here comes Bonnie. Okay, she was like, I know, bitch, you still fired. Why are you here? And they like, all of this stuff went down because of me. Okay, and we need her, so we gonna work with her and all that stuff. And I'm just like, Bonnie said, listen, I can help your ass win, so that's what we gonna do. Okay. Then we got Annalise and you know, Asher at Ryan's, that's the kid that got killed, his grandparents' home, okay? And basically, they want to take this to trial. Gabriel was trying to have this restored to justice and give the grandparents this forum. It's a hearing. Give them this way to voice their opinions and how other people, voice their emotions and everything, and talk to the killer or to the person that did the crime personally and to their face, and forgive if they can, okay, so that they can avoid a trial and still get the punishment that the judge sees fit. But the grandparents, they really want to go to trial, okay, because they just not here for it. They feel like this man took my grandchild away and then he deserves to go to jail, okay? Asher comes through and he started talking about the fact that, he lost his dad and how, ever since his dad passed away, the family ain't been the same. They've been blaming each other and all this stuff, and it spread like a cancer. You see Annalise looking at him like, oh shit, I didn't know all this was going on, little Asher, and then it seemed like he wasn't getting through until Annalise comes through and was like, listen, we trying to avoid trial because if you don't do this, they're going to take this to trial, and then the trial is not going to be about Mr. G, the teacher. It's going to be about Ryan, okay? About how he possibly caused his mother to die. Oh, she died of a heart attack, okay? Or his drug use and his violence and his arrest record and stuff like that. They're gonna turn it around and make the teacher the victim and make him the monster. Okay, that's how they work, and so that convinced them enough. Back at the office, of course, Asher comes in. He's giddy about that, throwing it up in Gabriel's face and everybody. Michaela like, could y'all just stop this bullshit? Okay, moving on from that. They having a little restore to justice hearing, okay? You hearing from a couple of, like, 3 students, and basically they was just saying how, this boy was not the typical student that you would think nobody would, think that something bad would happen. He is that type of person, okay? He was a bully, all right? He bullied students. He's bullied the teachers. He threw a stapler at the teacher that they're talking about, David. He was doing all this stuff. He was supposed to be gone out the school because he was suspended for throwing that stapler at him, but he showed up. He gets into it with the teacher yet again. Then he reaches in his backpack, and everybody thought at this point, because he's had this history of being an asshole and doing so much stuff, and mind you, he's alone and he has no friends or whatever. He has behavior issues. They thought that he was reaching up in his backpack to pull out a gun, and so they was like, it was wrong at what happened, but you know, we all okay with the fact that it happened, even though that it shouldn't have happened. It was a mistake. We all thought that he was pulling out a gun. We didn't know. Okay, so he was just acting in self-defense. You know, it's messed up, but that's what it is. Then the teacher get up there. She's saying the same thing. And then she gets emotional. She was like, I'm so sorry, David. Because she had to put out there that he's been my friend for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole time, David was sitting back there just smiling or whatever, listening to the testimonies and all this stuff. I felt bad for the grandparents because they don't nobody want to hear this about their loved one. You know, the negative parts about the loved one. But, you know, at this point, the teacher, Annalise, wanted to have a recess. And then the other lady at the table was like, no, this is about emotions, okay? So this is about the emotional process. We got to go through with it. Basically, old girl said, listen, what was on that phone, he was gonna show that David was on a dating app for men, okay? He's a gay man, and he knew that if Ryan would have put that out there, he probably would have lost him his job because he works at a Catholic school, okay? And so at this point, I was like, damn. So now it's like, is it motive that he killed this boy? And so they trying to figure it out when they got him in the interrogation room. And he was like, who knows? But honestly, it's not. And Annalise did ask, were you messing around with this boy? He said no. One day he had detention. His phone was left open. He saw a message come through. And that's how the boy found out about him being on this dating app and being gay or whatever. And, you know, she was like, promise me that you're not going to do nothing stupid tonight. Okay. And he was like, I promise you that. And was like, they got to convince the grandparents not to take this to trial. Because, of course, after hearing all this, they probably will want to. And so, you know, she told Gabriel to make sure they put him on suicide watch. I said, Lord Jesus. The kids are at home. And you have Asher talking about, my gaydar was off. I didn't know that dude was gay. Was yours off? Okay. You got Oliver and Connor talking about people that they done been with or who Connor done been with who were down low and all this stuff. And is it okay to be in the closet? And should we tell this person wife and kids and all this stuff and woo, woo, woo. And then here comes Asher once again trying to bring up this whole stuff about what happened with them. I forgot that he didn't know anything that happened with Sam because he was not there. He was the only one that wasn't there. And so he was like, all this stuff that's going on, we don't ever sit down and we don't ever talk about it. We doing this case about restorative justice, but we have not sat down to talk and heal about what everything. I still don't know everything that happened about Sam. Okay? And at this point, they're not trying to go back down that road. Gabriel's knocking on the door trying to talk to Michaela. He's telling her basically that, you know, this case that day, it was just a lot given everything that's been going on. He needs somebody to talk to. She's the only person that he has to talk to. He would call his mom, but, you know, she'll probably just yell at him for staying. And, you know, he was just trying to get some support, okay? And then also understand, why is it that Michaela broke up with him? Is it because I helped you out to find your father and then I told Annalise and then all of a sudden he showed up and then you break up with me? And she was like, no. He tried to, you know, reach out to her. She didn't want him to touch her. Okay. And so he was like, what's going on? She was like, listen, I just need some me time. I said, you really fucked Asher. That's what it is. I was waiting for him to say that. I was ready for her to say that, girl. But of course she didn't. And so, you know, back at Bonnie's house, here comes Frank. She was like, girl, where you been at? Why I keep on calling everybody girl? Boy, where you been at? I've been out jogging. You want to smell me? And then, you know, he said, what you up here doing? I'm doing this civil lawsuit for Nate Singer's case. It was like, you know what? Nate is crazy. He shouldn't even be doing this. I understand that, but, you know, hey, we got to do what we got to do. He was like, I'm about to go take a shower. Okay, you want to come with? I said, you know what? Frank getting on my nerves and Ashley getting on my nerves because he's doing the most, okay? Then we see Tegan, you know, we'll see Tegan come outside. She's going to her car. You know, she's in the parking garage, I should say. She gets in the car, and then there's this thumb drive taped to her, you know, her horn on her steering wheel, okay? Hit the whoa on your ass. But, you know, she's just instantly like, oh my God, what's going on, you know? And then they get the computer. I said, first of all, I ain't finna put this. You better get it a raggediest of the raggediest of the raggediest laptop, okay? Because that shit could have had a virus on there, could have fucked shit up, okay? Could have took all your database and all this shit off of there, your data and all that stuff, girl. Ain't nobody got time for that. But of course, Annalise know what it is. She's over there at Annalise's house. They looking at it, and Frank then put some pictures of Cora. Okay, so they been following Cora around. Now Tegan feeling like, oh my god, should I tell her this has gotta be the Xavier and the Castillos, okay, up here, trying to scare me into silence and the governor, whatever, because they know about this lawsuit and all this stuff. And it was like, listen, I need to tell Cora. Should I tell Cora? She was like, no, don't tell Cora nothing, because this is what they want you to do. Okay, they want you to be scared, and it's working. And she was like, all right. And the way that Annalise be looking at Tegan, I'd be like, oh girl, stop. I be like, bitch, do you want to cuss her out or do you want to eat her out? Which one is it, okay? I would prefer both, you know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do. But anyway, so, Annalise in the car with Frank was like, that was good Frank, bad Frank that did that, and he did a good job. He was like, no, it was bad Frank. I mean, good Frank. And then, at this point, he said, I just thought about what I would do if something happened to the love of my life. And then he was like, you talking about Laura? She was like, no. I mean, Frank was like, no. And then Annalise was like, Bonnie? And he was like, I mean, yeah, but she said, nah. He said, listen, I don't need your approval. He was like, you can't go this route because you're going to mess her up even more. And he was like, listen, I don't need your approval. We're going to do what we're going to do. I said, stop playing. Stop playing. Annalise get back home. Annalise called Robert and was like, yes, okay, you can take me out on another date or whatever. Be ready. Find something to do tomorrow. And hung up the phone. I said, bitch, I want to be up in that type of position. Have somebody waiting on my tick just to come on and do something with me. Like, come on. And then I just be like, well, you're going to have something planned by this time tomorrow, or, it is what it is. Click, you know what I'm saying? And knowing damn well they going to come through and I'm going to make it work it. But anyway, after that, what's the girl? Tegan over there at the office with Nate and Bonnie and telling Nate, listen, she's showing him the slideshow or whatever of the stuff that she found about Cora, and she was like, listen, I'm sorry, but I can't take this case. I don't want them to do what they did to your father, to Cora. Okay, I just can't do it. Bonnie's sitting there looking like, this is not the Castillos, okay? This is not Xavier. This is some fucked up shit that I know. This got Annalise and Frank shit all over this. This ain't them, okay? And so, Frank was just, Nate was just like, I understand, okay? Then Annalise and, Gabriel over there at the grandparents' house of that boy and trying to convince them to just say what they have to say at this restorative justice trial hearing, because, I understand that you want to take this to trial with all of this stuff that's coming out about, the fact that the teacher is gay. And he was like trying to convince them, and she said, listen, you don't understand where we're coming from because you don't know what it's like to lose a child, okay? And then Annalise had to come through and was like, I know what it's like because I lost my baby, okay, to a hit and run driver. And each and every day, I be wishing that I could find that driver and take care of him myself, and do unspeakable things and stuff like that. But she just want to hear the man say, I'm sorry, okay? So you sit down and you be able to hear this man talk, and you can give your emotions and tell them exactly how you feel if you come through, okay? And then while they on their way home, of course, Annalise and Gabriel, he was like, I said, yeah, Gabriel, you had a brother. So the baby that you had, that was with Sam, and she was like, yeah. And I'm surprised your mama didn't tell you. Oh, she knew? Oh, yeah. So is this when all the troubles started happening between you and Sam? Listen, I understand exactly why you got this, you doing this trial. It ain't for the grandparents. Do you want, the grandparents still got each other, you know what I'm saying? You still got your mama, but you feeling guilty yourself about, killing your mama's boyfriend. And he was like, wait a minute, you're wrong. I said, Annalise, you poured that shit out the air, and you know how to guilt trip a bitch real quick. Okay, Annalise will get you tripped up in a second, and then you be like, I wasn't even thinking about that. But now that you said that, yes! I'm sitting here like, Annalise, stop playing. And so it's back at the justice hearing, and we have the grandparents speaking. The grandfather basically is talking about how, he hates David, and he knows that the Bible says forgive those that trespasses against us, and he was like, I want to forgive. I really do want to forgive. Grandma, on the other hand, mind you, grandma a black woman. Grandma came through and said, listen, I don't. Okay. He may say one thing, but baby, I feel the complete opposite. Now, see, I forgave God because God was the one that took my daughter away from me, okay? God was the one that, did all of that. She had a heart attack. That was natural causes or whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, you took my son, my grandson away from me. That was the only living piece of thing that I still had of my granddaughter, okay? Of my daughter. And you took him away from me over some stupid shit, all right? Is it because you was a homosexual? Did you try to do something with? No, I never did. You got to be quiet, Mr. G. And he was like, Mama just kept on going on. He was like, you got all these people coming up here trying to say these negative things about my grandson, telling these lies. I said, girl, grandma in denial, okay? But hey, if everybody ain't link up to say the same thing, okay? I'm just saying. But she was like, and if he was so troubled, you as the adult was supposed to reach out and try to help this child, because that is what you are, the adult. And either way, whoever and whatever he may have done, you were the one that took it upon yourself to bring the gun. I said, oh, grandma got to me. And I said, you know what? You're right. I said, break it down, grandma. Had that man feeling bad. She was like, listen, I want you in jail for life, okay? And I die suffering, but I feel a little bit better. I suffer a little bit less if your ass got life up in jail. I said, oh, okay. So Annalise had to convince little David to get out there and tell his feelings and thoughts about this stuff. He was just like, I wish this never happened. It's nothing that I can say to make them feel any forgive me or whatever. Annalise told him, don't let that be the last lie that you say, okay? So he gets out there and he starts talking about how, he wish he can, he don't want their forgiveness. He wants to take on whatever punishment they want to give. He want to take on their suffering, because the truth of the matter is, when he came to school that day, he had hate in his heart. He had hate in his heart for Ryan already because of what he knew, and the fact that he feels so bad and messed up that, and like a coward, that he couldn't stand up to a 16-year-old and tell him that, yes, I am a gay man, okay? And so he said, I don't know if that's the reason why I shot him, but it's part of it. Okay, and so whatever it is, I take the punishment or whatever. He was very sincere with it. And at the end of the day, what wound up happening is, they went on deliberation, and while he was up there talking, you graze out into the audience. You got Connor and them sitting there. You got Michaela with tears finna come out her eyes. She go over there to tell Gabriel, listen, I lied and you was right. And he was like, what you talking about? Well, when I was telling you about a month ago, I cheated on you with Asher. It happened just once, okay? It wasn't nothing. It just happened one time. Asher shows up and was like, the way he was looking was like he overheard what happened, and overheard what she said, and he was just like in his feelings a little bit, and he was like, well, the judge come back, they deliberated, it's over with, they got the sentence or whatever. Basically, dude got sentenced to 25 years, the original plea, okay? And Gabriel was in his feelings a little bit that they went through all of this for nothing, and Annalise said, no, this actually put good taxpayers' dollars to work, and this was actually a precedent case because you was able to get this done, okay, get this heard. So outside the courtroom, Gabriel trying to talk to Michaela and was like, listen, I don't give a fuck what happened between you and Asher. That's no big deal right about now. It was one mistake. It's small or whatever. And basically, he was trying to make it seem like, I get it. It happened. Shit happens. I still forgive you, whatever. I still want you. And then Asher brings his big ass up in here. And I'm sorry, I had to do that because Asha been eating good, okay? Asha has been eating good since season 1, okay? Asha has been getting How to Get Away with Murder Chat since season 1. He just spent up his Orange is the New Black check, because remember, he was old girl boy, baby daddy, okay, and so he expanded a little bit. It is what it is, that happy weight or whatever. He comes over there. The fact that you don't feel anything, that shows that you never really felt anything for no, the fact that you're not mad, that means that you never really felt anything for Michaela. Anyway, I said, Asher, this ain't the right time, please shut the fuck up. And he was like, boy, if you don't stop. Next thing you know, Gabriel punches the shit out of Asher, and they on the floor wrestling, okay, trying to poke each other eyes out. They like, y'all gonna get y'all asses arrested. Michaela was like, stop. And I was just like, Michaela, throw my hands up and just walk the fuck away. I said, bitch, you started this shit. So the kids back at the house, and basically everybody upset at Asher, okay? Like, boy, you could have shut the fuck up, okay? He was like, I don't know what got over me. I blacked out. I did get some his hand. No, but whatever. Okay, so he gonna sleep it off on the couch. Michaela go do what she gotta do. And Elise over there at Robert's place, he got something playing, like, a little home dinner and stuff. And I was like, ooh, okay, Robert, cool, points for you. Okay, she was like, listen, let's cut to the chase. Why are you doing this, okay? I mean, it was cute or whatever. We had a couple of conversations on the phone, but you don't know me, I don't know you. And he was like, listen, both my exes, they kind of said that it's not me, it's you type of thing. And then after therapy, I just learned that I feel like I'm not worthy enough. And, I feel like I deserve love, and I want you to be the one that give it. And, you want to be touched or whatever and all this stuff sometimes. And she was like, not all touch is wanted, but I'm not going to put it out there that I want it like that or whatever. So they vibing. Meanwhile, not Annalise, but Tegan called Cora, trying to check and see if she's still alive. Okay, she was like, look, girl, I know I told you not to talk to me no more, but I'm just checking to see if you're still alive, okay? And Robert and Annalise up there dancing and stuff. I said, oh, no, I don't like this, because Tegan had called Annalise, all right? Mind you, Tegan drunk, okay? Well, she damn near there. She getting there. And she was like, look, girl, I ain't got shit else to do. I might be sleeping here at the office. Can you imagine? Do you want to hang if you ain't got nothing to do? I said, oh, and then they see Robert and Annalise just dancing and stuff. I said, no. Oh, my God. He just blocked her. God damn. Click blocked Tegan. Ain't this about a bitch? Then we get this scene with goddamn Bonnie and Frank. Frank cooking. And at this point, she was like, thank you. And he said, for what? It was like, getting Tegan to not file that lawsuit, because now I'm filing the lawsuit. I'm Nate's lawyer. Okay. I said, boy, Frank was like, what are you doing? Okay, you damn near killed yourself over this shit, And at this point, we have to remember, Bonnie don't know that they know that Nate is the one that did that. Okay. And so to her husband, her fiance. And so the governor is in the car with Xavier. And she looking at the lawsuit, and she sees Bonnie Winterbottom's name on there as the counsel. And she's like, who is this person? Give me the file on her, okay? He gets out the car and he calls old girl that was at the beginning of the episode, who's still out there in Philly, who was knocking on Annalise's door, faking like she was looking for her Airbnb. And she said, give me the file on Winterbottom, okay? And I said, damn. Meanwhile, Oliver is in the room, kind of comes in. They looking at the security cameras or whatever, see Asher on the couch, and then basically kind of feeling some type of way. This whole trial, this restorative justice trial thing, got everybody feeling this type of way of, just revealing their secrets and stuff. And he was like, I never told you everything that happened with Sam, and he was like, you can tell me anything. It's okay. He was like, okay, cool. I chopped up the body. Oliver looking like, what? I said, why would you tell him this? Then it fast forward into the future. Oliver is at the police station just stuck. And I said, please somebody get him before he do something stupid. And right when I said that, Frank comes in and was like, come on, Ollie, let's go. They finna walk out. This motherfucker gonna turn around. I did it. Arrest me. I'm the murderer. I said, you know what? Bye. Whatever happens, happens. And you're gonna blame him because he shouldn't be here, okay? But that was How to Get Away with Murder. Y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.